there again, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida, and at Expressionist Studio Gallery in the backyard. And I want to say thank you to 59,000 subscribers, because I'm pretty sure we're there. If we aren't yet, we will be by the end of the day. This is a skewer. These are bamboo, this is a bamboo skewer. These are silicone basting brushes with bristles removed. These are going to be some of the tools I'm going to use. These are my Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatulas. Number 1 with a flat front. Number 4 with the diagonal blade, number 3 with the pointy tip, which is not very pointy, but anyway. So, and this is a threek, as my friend Jackie calls it, because it's definitely not a fork, and I might use that too. I've been thinking about this dynamic circle with tendrils everybody's spent a lot of time watching, and so yesterday, without knowing why, I pre-primed with some gold I had left over, a 14 by 14 inch canvas, and that is this. And even though it's a rather small format for what I want to do, I think that it's going to serve my purposes. I don't really want to do another dynamic circle with tendrils the way I did the last one, but I want to get a little closer than I have by trying, which has pretty much failed miserably. I just always wind up doing something else instead. I'm going to move my turntable tile back into a central location, hoping that my focus for the camera didn't change too much. So I kind of like the fact that I have this gold background already, and I have gold paint to pull or drag or whatever I'm going to do into it. And I'm hoping that I don't that my paint doesn't dry too quickly, because it's kind of warm out here today. It's in the 80s, but I waited until a little bit late in the afternoon so that the sun is not too bright, and I want to make sure that my wet paint goes all the way into the center but not filling the center exactly. And I'm taking too long. I'm futzing. And I know that I've never done anything quite like this before, so I don't know exactly what's going to happen with the pulling or even the application of the paint. I know I don't have any gold I want to throw into the bucket, so I'm going to use everything I can from my spatula. And I may have to touch up my edges later, or I may not. So I am going to throw that in the bucket anyway, and I'm going to start with some of the new colors that I have. Let's just start at 12 and 6 and split the difference. And I kind of think that I might want some lines, circles, is what I'm trying to say. And so I think I'm going to give myself permission, assuming that anything that I have here is open. The turquoise turns out to be very strong every time, so less is more. And everything's going to be a bit plugged. And a little strange. So I'm going to just stick with colors that I like, that I think will be interesting together. Be really nice if that would come out. And I'm going to use my skewer over to one side. Really? I guess so. They stopped making these, they stopped supplying these bottles to Sam's Club because they had some flaw, and I don't know what the flaw is, but for me, it's the tip clogging all the time. Alright, so that's that, and I want some dark blue, and I think I have more color there than I can do anything with. I'm just going for it. The first time I did this with little blocks of colors. And that might have been the better way to go, but that's not how this is working, so. I'm just going to do what I do, the way that I do it, and hope it works out. And here goes nothing. Okay, so how am I going to start this? I am going to start this with diagonal to the inside. somewhat evenly. Remove that thing that does not belong, which might be a bug. And then I'm going to go back and just drag sideways. At some point in time I'm going to think about whether I want to add some white. I'm really glad, because of the way that drag mark was, that I have gold underneath. I can go in here and even this up if I want. And maybe I can even remove the thing that I just stuck in there that nobody wants to see in there at all. I hope I didn't muck it up completely. And I do have a damp rag in my studio, always handy for moments that I'm clumsy like that. Just in case I might want to wipe something up, and I did want to wipe something up. I'll let that right in there. I really want some Prussian blue, but I kind of like what I've got already. I think I'm going to use what I've got. Boy, I really like what I've got. That's not helpful at all, is it? Alright, I'm going to try and be a little subtle. Yeah, that's my forte, subtlety, right? I don't want to destroy all those pretty colors. I always wind up making beautiful patterns when I do these, and then I pull them out, and it just seems like it's overdue. Time is overdue to do something different. So it's a wreath. It doesn't have any spirals yet. You hear me say yet. And I kind of wanted to drag some stuff back in from the outside edge, but I don't see where that comes into it at this point. I do have some anomalous things around the outside edge that don't need to be there if I pull them. I am tempted. Yep, see, there I go again. But I'm just going to stay at the furthest reaches of that, because I really want to know what all these colors are going to look like on top of this gold. And I'm not making mud, which is pretty nice, because I have a lot of purples and pinks. And the green is a color shift, minty green from Folk Art. And it doesn't really make mud either. And so maybe this is just going to be quick, and I'm going to be priming a pile of 14 by 14 inch canvases with gold and doing a whole bunch of different kinds of techniques. I didn't use my fork. What else didn't I use? I didn't use much of anything else, but this basting brush. But that's okay with me. That's pretty cool. I don't mind that at all. I can come back in here again and make some new marks, which might be alright, where that green goes down. Because the paint moves very nicely on top of that primed gold, slick background. It's still so tempting. I like seeing those little bits of abstract. You know what I want? I want my mica, gold mica, in the center on top of whatever's there. Which was not the gold mica, it was just something I had used up. And I am going to, since I have plenty of time left, I'm going to look around and go, where's my medical tubing, and do I have a straw? Oh, I found this funky straw. That's cool. I got this at a bar in Tarpon Springs. I saw the bartenders make knots with the bendy part. I have no idea where to get one, so don't ask me. I'm sorry. Unless you're in Tarpon Springs, and then go barrel hopping and maybe you'll find one. I did want a second layer of gold anyway, so I might as well do this. Although I'm not having the exact level creating the circle I want, but it's also not too bad. Makes me wonder if I want something else around the inside of that, and I see that I have sort of some uneven orange there, and it occurs to me that if I want some even orange there, I could probably fake it out by just adding a little more. So I'm going to do that. and you can too. Which reminds me, the name of my book on the Amazon link is Because I Can, and that's why I do stuff all the time, because I can. And you can too. So that's better with that other orange in there. We only got 6 minutes left. I know I could put a little black on the outside and drag it in. Maybe I'll do that. You know, I just really want to do that. I'm going to take my, I'm going to bring in my smaller basting brush if I can find the head on it. Oh, when you have the wooden handle, there we go. When you have the wooden handle, they go back on. So rather than rot them out, boy, do I really want to do this? Wow. Here goes nothing. I feel crazy. Maybe I want to go in. Maybe you want to pick and choose very carefully before I do that. We'll let some of it roll right over the edge. Put it all in the same place pretty much on every corner before I start to go any further. The only reason I'm doing this is because I got 6 minutes left on my timer, and that would still give me another few minutes to tell you guys whatever I want to tell you. So far it's not making me super happy, but things that don't make me super happy are usually the things that help me discover things that do make me super happy eventually. I'm just going to keep using what's on the basting brush and touching up the edge of the canvas. Yeah, I think I liked it better before, but maybe I'll have a chance to change my mind. I hope so. You never know until you try. Gotta find out the hard way sometimes. My circle went away. Wow. My circle went away in a big way. Must be time to level my turntable again. I would say that's a definite time to level the turntable again. This might be nice and dramatic. It kind of makes me want to put purple right there. Go figure. I'm a bit of a purple freak. We know that about me if you've been around at all. I'm taking advantage of this because the paint is nice and wet, and the slick background from having primed it with the gold. No, it's kind of obnoxious, but that's okay. It's kind of cool too. And I may just do what I said I was going to do and go ahead and lay some pink over the top, or orange, or whatever. Because I don't mind any of that. And I have enough residual on my basting brush, I think. Especially if I go back in the other direction. It kind of lightens it up a little bit too. That's kind of fabulous, actually. I liked the subtlety of it before, make no mistake, I really did, but we're here to play, we're here to experiment, and that's just part of the gig. And knowing how I did it before, more or less, because I usually have to watch my own videos, you know, to see what I've done. 576 videos I noticed yesterday. This looks okay. It's very tempting to want to put some more purple in there, but I kind of like it the way it is. And I am just letting the time run out, sort of. Really. It's so unsatisfying when you tip a squeeze bottle and you start to think that you're going to get something and you get nothing. Come out. Really? And then you get a lot. Try not to drip too far. Ooh, it occurs to me my head is probably obscuring someone's vision. I'm so sorry. Alright, so what do I do now? Do I push it or pull it or drag it? Because I don't really want to use the basting brush again because I know what kind of effect that has and I like it, but I don't want everything to be the same. My first inclination was to use the bamboo skewer, but I don't have as much control adding the paint afterwards to the edge as I do when I use the diagonal. That just makes me want orange. And this could go on and on and on, of course, as I'm inspired. And it's not, I'm not making perfect marks. It's an abstract piece of artwork, abstract expressionist at this point, in fact. And it's definitely a combination of the dynamic circle with tendrils, only there aren't any. Oh well. I could probably drag a few out. Maybe that's next. Maybe we can drag a few tendrils out. Maybe make a slightly tidier line on some of these also. Looking back at them from another direction is probably very useful. That means I've got 2 minutes to tell you guys whatever I'm going to tell you, which is I do sell my artwork, and I have been, so if you like something, grab it quick before somebody else does. Slowly but surely, I might actually have a life as a artist who sells art. Yay! What I'm supposed to do. Wow. I want to thank you guys for watching as much of the video as possible because you have gotten me through times. It's a huge help to me. The longer you watch the video, the better my potential income source is. I don't know how it works, but it does work. I noticed when you guys started watching more as a favor to me, and I really appreciate it. It's the same favor I say that you guys do for me when you give me a thumbs up. That helps the placement of my videos on YouTube so more people can see them, and asking you to do that and seeing you do that, I've been really, really appreciative. Almost as much as loving your comments, because you guys treat me like a goddess and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being so kind so often. And do I do this? I'm gonna run out of time, but that's okay, because I'm just gonna go ahead and give myself a dot. And if it's just a dot when you come back, because I liked it, you'll understand. And if I pull it or push it with a skewer or drag it with my Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula, which reminds me, I should tell you guys that on the Amazon link directly below the video, now let's use the skewer and see what happens. It should be kind of smooth. Just going to push that up there right, just a little bit. Just dip it right in, get the paint out of the way. Might have to clean it off if it starts to get mucky. Just little tiny shove. Just to sort of please the eye. There, I got 1 minute left, and I got to tell you guys whatever I'm going to tell you, which is I have pixels.com on my Facebook pages, as well as Fine Art America, where all my products have been since 2013. There's some really cool stuff there. Thank you for shopping. I have Teespring below the video. I have Pinterest and Instagram at the bottom of the video, and on the end screens there are over 575 videos listed now. I don't know if you find all of them, but quite a few of them are there. 550 of them last time I checked. And I love you guys. Keep coming back. Thank you for all the great comments, and thank you for the contributions. And if you contribute again, you'll probably wind up in this month's contest. And I don't know who's going to win on the 8th of April, or who won on the 8th of April, depending on when I post this, but this is pretty good, and I'm going to be happy with how it is, and I'm going to torch to release the bubbles, if there are any. And other than that, I'm gone. This is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the backyard, saying I love you guys again. Bye now. You want to see?